Welcome to the Seat Cupra R ST350 by ABT.
So at 38 grand, you know, we get a lot of carbon, we get a lot of tech, we get a lot of stuff that you would normally have to pay extra for in something like a Golf R and S3. But the real question is, what is the Seat Leon Cupra R 4-drive ST ABT like to drive? I'm just going to call it a Cupra R because it is such a long name. Well, let's find out. So obviously this is tuned 350 horsepower, 400 newton meters of torque. It should mean that we have a lot of punch, and because this is tuned, I would envisage that we get a dump of torque around 2,500 RPM. So we're going to find out, and the way we're going to do that first is I think we need to do a launch control. That is a solid launch. Wow. That is a serious kick. When the clutch lets go, I mean, when I had the RS3, it was a lot more of a progressive release of the clutch. This dumped that hard. That's a really good first impression. We like that. We're a fan of that. Now, like I said, this is already, because this is tuned by ABT, this has got lower front springs, 20mm front, 15 rear. This has got the adaptive suspension as well. Tell you what, it does have some punch, and with the -2 degree negative camber, you should be able to throw it, and it does. It takes these corners easily, man. It really does. And I'll tell you what, it doesn't hang about. It definitely doesn't hang about. Little sweeping left-hander, drop the gear. Yeah, I'll tell you what, guys, this definitely does have, it's very quick. It definitely is very quick. I mean, 4.5 seconds in an estate, in a Seat Cupra R estate, is nothing to be, you know, you don't frown on that. This is seriously quick. I mean, there is a lot of serious, more expensive performance cars that can't do a 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. And this thing here, I mean, I'm really impressed. I mean, I've just come out of an Audi RS3. I drove it to Belgium, so I have a very, I guess I could compare it to the RS3, although the RS3 is 400 PS and a 2.5. I think this is more of a choice of, you either go for maybe a Golf R, an S3, or one of these. And it depends on, I guess the real first question is are you a brand snob? Can you get past the fact that this is Seat? And actually, I think that a lot of people can, and more people are. I mean, Seat sales are up 7.8% this year alone. And what's the kick down like? Let's see. Foot to floor. A little bit lazy, and I think, you know what, I think that's the thing with DSG boxes. Now, I don't know whether ABT have mapped the gearbox as well. They've definitely mapped the engine. You can feel that dump of power, and it feels really good, but I'm not sure whether the gearbox has been mapped. Those who know, comment below. Engine tone sounds pretty good. It is a 2-litre 4-pot, but I tell you what, the camber does make a difference. It definitely does. I mean, you can really throw this car around, and I'm nowhere near the limit at the moment. I mean, and you forget that this really is a family estate that's pretty damn quick. The exhaust as well sounds nice. I can hear that turbo whistling and pushing and pumping air out the back of the exhaust. So this tops out 161 miles an hour. It's very quick. You know, let's do one last. Second gear. Yeah, I mean, there is no questioning the performance of this car for me. I think Seat have done a cracking job with this. Well, ABT have done a cracking job by tuning this. And I love the fact that this is it's a stock package. It is a stock package, so you get this done. It's 500 quid. Now, from a driver perspective, how am I feeling more than anything? So, like I said earlier in the video, these seats are complete winners. I'm telling you that, they are winners. The half Alcantara leather seats really do hug me in, and they have such good bolstering. One of the things from the Audi, the RS3, great seats, the S-Line, Sportline seats, but I don't think they have as much bolstering as this. So when I'm really throwing this around corners and even just kind of, you know, throwing it left to right here, I don't feel like I'm moving at all. I feel very snug. I fit perfectly in these seats. I also really like the kind of design of them. I love the fact that the Alcantara goes all the way to the top, the kind of copper stitching with a little carbon fiber leather look. It's really nice, it really is. The steering wheel for me feels great. Obviously it's an adjustable steering wheel, as with all cars. Full Alcantara I think is a winner, I must say. I think it's a really, really nice touch. Yes, you know, we talked earlier on about the fact that over time the Alcantara might wear away, but who cares? For now, it feels lovely. It feels really nice. The steering wheel's quite thin. I like that personally. The steering wheel, you've got very nice hand grips, so you are in complete control when you're throwing this around. I've been driving this in Cupra mode, so if we were to flick to comfort, because it does have the adaptive suspension, and just see what kind of, how it feels more than anything. So, because it should soften up the ride, because the ride is a little bit firmer. In fact, it's quite a lot firmer because of the springs and because we're in the Cupra mode, which is the full all-out attack. But comfort mode, so you don't get that lovely kind of noise you get from the sport mode or the Cupra mode. The exhaust quiets down a bit, so it's obviously on a butterfly valve, and but it's more docile. You don't feel the bumps as much when you're in comfort mode, and I do like that about this car. Guys, honestly, this thing really does fly around the corners. It's such an immersive drive. I feel like I've got so much control of this car, and obviously it is four-wheel drive, which gives you that extra stability when you're kind of powering out of corners. Haven't felt any understeer in this whatsoever. The car weighs 1,500 kilos, so for what it is for an estate, I think that's pretty good going. It does feel sturdy. And with obviously this car, we get the big Brembo brakes, which means the stopping power is good, and you're going to need it because of the 350 PS or the 345 horsepower. You're definitely going to need it. But I tell you what, I think this car is probably one of the most understated, underrated cars out there. I really do. And the thing is as well with this is it's rare. This is a rare car. There's only 150 of these coming to the UK, which means that really they should hold their value pretty well. But also what I love what Seat have done, what Cupra have done even, because I really like, from a styling perspective, I love the colour. I love this kind of dark, kind of pastel-y grey colour. But I really like the kind of bronze accents all over this. I like the wheels, I think they look superb. Handling is really good. Really good. I mean, like, really good. Sorry, I could just do that all day. It's just so much fun. But like I said, I love the bronze here. I love the wheels. The wheels look really good. They're very distinct. The kind of copper style front badges, rear badges. The blacked out ABT. There's no hint of chrome on this. The fact that Cupra have gone with carbon fiber all over the place, Alcantara, there's a little bit of a, I guess, a boy racer edge kind of feel, isn't it? And I guess that's what Cupra is all about, isn't it? Cupra is kind of the racing element of, it's the racing element of the Seat brand. And you can see that there's a lot of race inspired feel to this. And I really do like it. I mean, interior dash as well, even this is a very similar feel to the RS3. There's no real cheap plastics, maybe a little bit here, but I think you get a lot from this car. I've always been a fan of the kind of out there kind of cars, like cars that like stock cars that are modded out of the factory that look a little bit boisterous, a little bit boy racery. I mean, like, I used to have an A45 AMG. I love the aero kit on that. I think it was amazing, which means I also love the fact that you've got carbon fiber rear spoiler. I think you've got the carbon fiber accents either side of the skirts, and the front carbon fiber splitter. I love the crystal style gear, the gear stick in the BMW 8 Series. A lot of people didn't like that, but I think it's different, it's out there, and I just think it's cool. But that's just me. Brakes hard. Look at those brakes, fantastic brakes. I don't have anything but good things to say about this car. Like, genuinely, I really don't. It's the first Seat that I've driven in years, and I remember the old Cupra R, like the 225 Cupra R. A friend of mine used to have one, and that was wicked at the time. And obviously over the years Seat has evolved and evolved and evolved, and I think now they've really hit the nail on the head with this car. I don't think there's much about this car that you can't like. I mean, brand snobs will say, yeah, but it's a Seat, but you forget instantly that this is a Seat when you're driving it. The only thing reminding me now of it being a Seat is the nice big bronze copper logo in front of me. But that doesn't matter. A car, you buy a car based on how it makes you feel. This makes me feel flipping great. Really good, really enjoyable, fantastic drive, so much stability, and it's a pretty good value proposition. This is the thing, is where you may not pay, you know, because it isn't an Audi, it's not a Golf VW. It means that you get a lot more for your money, in my opinion. I mean, this car, 38 grand, comes with so many extras. A base Golf R comes in at 36 grand, completely base. And I went on the configurator the other night, and you've got to spend a minimum like 7-8 grand to get it feeling a little bit like this, like as in with the extras you get. And then you start to look at the RS3. The RS3 is 9 grand more than this car. Granted, it's an RS3, and I think I would take the RS3, but only because of the 2.5 litre engine. That's the only reason. It's a really nice car. Really nice car.